Hi, welcome back to the Homestead. It's been an interesting week. First off, if you look over there, behind the airsoft target, I've been working on building a woodshed. And I'm probably going to finish getting this framed up in the next, probably this weekend. The metal pieces for the roofing will probably wait till a week after next when my wife gets back from her trip. But I figured I'm cutting down enough trees since I've moved here. I might as well store them and use them for firewood. So that's been happening. Over here, I have been pulling dirt out of my little mini pond. You can see the end is a little deeper. I had a huge amount of flooding problems last year that prevented this from being usable garden space. So I've just been digging dirt out of there and dumping it over there with the two buckets that you happen to see over there. So that's kind of been an ongoing project and a lot of exercise. Now, the moringa trees, which are these four over here, are continuing to get taller. They're probably root bound in those tiny buckets. And some of the leaves are missing. I'm not sure quite what's happened there. They do get fertilized regularly. This Thai chili pepper here is producing flowers. Oh, one of the flowers just fell off my hand. I'm not sure what's going on with it because it's a much lighter color leaves than it used to have. Most of my tomatoes from the spring are dead. Probably about half of them are dead. But I've got a few that are putting on a bunch of new growth, like this guy here. Show you some more at the end. Over here, the okra are continuing to produce faster than I can eat them, which is why you've got so many big okra here just going to seed. I'll probably cut that one off after the video. Not sure if I'm going to do that again. The eggplants are getting huge, but they're not actually producing fruit. I've got a few purple flowers on them, but no actual fruit. Over here, that bush, and this bush are all sweet peppers, and they're producing flowers, but I don't see any fruit in here yet. These are all going to be bell peppers, which, interestingly, that is not a bell pepper. I think this is another case of either cross-pollination or something happening that I wasn't expecting. I had to cut out the obviously dead tomatoes. The chard seems to have grown quite a bit in the last week, and once again, I need to harvest it, and I haven't got around to it. Over here, this bed is some serranos and bird's eye peppers, and it's covered in flowers. And as you can see, if we look in close, I've got the beginning of some fruit growing. When these are ripe, you can see that one, they'll turn red. So my guess is they have a few days, maybe a week, until this is covered in red peppers. So giving that time. Now over here, this last bed, I planted beans, but didn't keep the seeds watered, so they just died. None of the bean seeds germinated. But what I found is after cutting off most of the tomatoes and peppers that were here last year, or spring, I've got a couple regrowth on two of my peppers. I think possibly three. I'm not sure what. That might be a weed. And two of the cherry tomatoes are also regrowing. So those probably have really good root systems. No fruit yet, but they've got flowers. And speaking of flowers, if we walk over here, that thing that's like falling over here was my heirloom tomato, and that is putting on flowers again. So that survived the summer. My eggplants are, as you can see, covered with ants. Camera doesn't even want to pick those up. And those aren't producing either. I really don't want to do these eggplant again. And then over here, that tomato bush, so you can see not only does it have new growth, but it's also got flowers on it. The same thing with this one. And this tomato bush, which was my high performer in the spring, looks completely dead. So I'll probably get rid of that. But they basically have outgrown the tomato cages and just kind of fallen forward and are all over the place. And I'm just letting them do that. Take a look at the calamansi tree. This could probably use some more water than it's getting. That thing's been kind of unsuccessful. Looks like it got eaten a little. It might be getting some rabbit pressure. Now, one of the interesting things this last week is I've seen almost no rabbits for the last 3 or 4 days. What I have seen, and I might drop a video in this, has been a couple hawks, specifically in the chicken area. So at the moment the chickens are in the coop, which is why they're making so much noise in there. Now let's go in, because I saw another hawk this morning. Yeah, these ladies are making a bunch of noise. My camera will focus. Yeah. They don't like being in there during the day. And not sure you can quite see with the camera, but there's at least one chicken, maybe 2 chickens in the nesting box. Fortunately, I lost a bird earlier this week. I used to have 6 chickens, now I only have 5. Originally, I thought that might have gotten out and she just got eaten by a neighbor's dog or something. Like, I don't have a body or anything. She just completely disappeared. But now I'm kind of thinking it might be the hawks, because I've seen hawks up in those trees behind me a couple times and kind of chased them off. But I'm wondering if that might be what's causing my problem. So, any suggestions on how to protect chickens from hawks in that kind of open enclosure, please let me know. Cost-effective ways. And anyways, start a garden if you're not already. You have to wear a cool hat.